I don't agree with boycotting Tabitha. I'm just not going to do it. Crazy. If white women benefit the most from this, why aren't they protesting? Here I am with another topic. I'm going to roll it. Yes, I want to talk about Tabitha Brown. And this may be an unpopular opinion because I've been seeing all the outrage online on different social media platforms. And I will say this. As a Black woman looking at this other Black woman, Tabitha, who has literally been the most sincerest person, Black woman on this internet, to see her actually have her platform set up to where she recognizes Black-owned businesses. She showcases new Black businesses. She shows us how to eat healthier, gives us alternatives, all of these things, even to the point of her with the children making the show she has for the kids. And I think recently she has a new children's book. I'm just like, why are we really doing this to another Black woman? Really, why? And I know it's all the talk of the DEI, but we as Black women, we have to understand something. Just being Black, period, we are always going to be targeted to be the face and do the work to help benefit others. We see it time and time. We see it for the police brutality, and we see it with the unaliving of Black men, Black boys, Black women. We're on the forefront when it comes to pushing and advocating for LGBTQ. We're on the forefront. On the forefront when it's advocating for the Democrat Party. We're there. And I feel like we're always advocating for everyone else, but we don't advocate that hard for ourselves, for one another, for our Black women. And when I look at DEI and when I start looking into it and realizing that it's only 3% of Black people who benefit from DEI, the largest percent who benefit are white women. And they benefit 76-something%. But I'm going to enter a video right now. So I am going to place a video in. It is with Sharice Lane. And I'm going to place it in because I don't have it pulled up. I could go in all explaining it, but she did a very good job breaking it down.
So why is the Black community upset that DEI was taken out? Y'all see this? What's the issue? What's the problem? Why are we upset? Let me show the next screenshot. So let's read this. According to several studies, particularly from McKinsey, white women have disproportionately benefited from corporate diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI efforts, often holding a larger share of leadership positions compared to women of color. So again, why are Black people mad? Why is the Black community mad that Trump took DEI out? when it didn't even benefit us the most? Okay, next screenshot. This article is from Forbes, and it says, while many white women have made gains in American workplaces, the gains for racial and ethnic minority women haven't been as significant. According to another McKinsey study, white women hold nearly 19% of all C-suite positions, while racial and ethnic minority women only hold 4%. Overall, white women have benefited disproportionately from corporate DEI efforts. So again, why are black people mad that Trump took away DEI?
But basically, she just breaks down like how we as black people and black women, how we benefit for the DEI. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. And she just breaks it down to say how we are like on the bottom of actually benefiting from it. White women are at the top, like I said, for 76 something percent. Then I believe after white women, it is either Indian or if it's Hispanics, or maybe it's Hispanics and then it's LGBT, whatever the case. I think the top three definitely is white women and LGBT are the top three. And we are at the bottom. So when Tabitha is explaining like, yo, this is going to hurt way more than it's going to help, it was kind of sad seeing black people backlash her like, oh, she's just doing this for money, she's a grifter, she's this. And I'm like, really? Y'all really feel like this about this woman for the past 10 years, who has been just giving us content, doing things that helps us essentially? Like, she doesn't get anything from posting and sharing our businesses like that. She don't get no money from doing that. That's something she wants to do. And if somebody said, well, she get paid on YouTube for posting it, okay, she may get paid for that, but I'm sure it's other things she could find to do with her time and other content she could easily create to garner her some money. That's not something she has to do. So it just saddens me how we've allowed, and this is my opinion, we've allowed a certain party to play on our emotions and to pander to us, to have us even turn on our own people. Like, nothing we do should ever have us turning on one another. It should never be that. And I don't believe that Tabitha nor the other women in Target, I think Super Crayon Case, the Lip Bar, I'm not sure of the other black brands. I just feel like if we're least to benefit from this, why are we asking our people, our black women, to be the ones to sacrifice the most? That's essentially what we're doing. We're asking our black women sacrifice the most so that we can get the least. And it just doesn't make sense to me. The math is not mathing to me. It's not mathing to me. So boycotting Target is not helping. To me, it is hindering, especially if we are the least to benefit from it. And then let's pose a question as well. If white women benefit the most from this, why aren't they protesting? They should be frontline and center. Why aren't they taking their stuff off the shelves and boycotting? Why aren't they doing that? They benefit from this the most. Why? And maybe, I'm not saying it is, but it could be a theory that maybe they know, once again, we always on the front line, making the ultimate sacrifices that benefits everybody else. So no, I'm not going to boycott because they'll do it. I'm going to then benefit from them boycotting, and I'm still going to be able to have my stuff in stores. I'm still going to be able to sell my stuff. People still are going to be coming there and buy it. My thing is, in my opinion, would just go to Target and buy only Black brand items. To me, that makes more sense. It makes way more sense to go in there and buy and rack up on Black brand items. Shoot it to the roof, to the point where they see more money coming in from these Black brands than they see with these white brands, because we have power in numbers. So why don't we show up and pour into our own people versus asking our people once again to sacrifice themselves? And that's what we essentially ask our people to do every time, off the strength of a party or a demographic of people who never pour back into us, never give us back what we always stand up to do. Now, me personally, I'm not a party person. I'm not left or right. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm not liberal or conservative. I'm Black. I'm free. I'm Black. I'm free. And I love my people. I love Black women, of course, because I'm a Black woman, but I love my community as a whole. So I'm for my people. That's who I'm for. Nothing, I don't have nothing against anybody else. But this is what this platform, this is what this channel is about: helping enrich us as Black women, helping us to get back to what our ancestors were before a lot of things got watered down, whitewashed, misinformed us, misled us. I want us to get back to the root of things, where we used to be a collective, where we used to be there for one another, where we didn't allow ourselves to be pandered to, didn't allow ourselves to be used for other people's gain. Like, I don't want that. And I don't agree with boycotting Tabitha. I'm just not going to do it. Some of y'all will disagree. And my thing is, she even said it: if you want to boycott, boycott. Like, I'm not against anybody who wants to do it if that's what you want to do. Just, I feel like with anything you do, know why you doing it. Do it because you looked into it, you saw the research, you realize, like, okay, this does have a big hindrance on us. Because let's be clear, we're going to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Like, did it stop the microaggressions that we experience on the job? I still experience low-key discrimination and being treated a certain way or being dealt with a certain way on the job because I was Black, because I was a Black girl. So it's like, it didn't stop having to still deal with the same things you have to deal with on a job when it comes to being Black in this country. I just want us to focus more inward, focus inward on ourselves individually, and focus inward within our community. I did a reading last year, right before the elections, and every reading I did all kept talking about community, community. Build your community. Start with your community. Start with your community. And it's so clear now, hindsight. It's so very clear to me that the focus needs to be on our community. And we get easily misled because we're manipulated. We're preyed upon. They use us as work mules to do the work and pave the ground that they don't want to do. And we make the ultimate sacrifice every time. And then we turn around and we don't see the fruits of our labor. And then we have to do it for ourselves. So my thing is, why are we allowing middlemen? Why don't we just get straight to doing it for ourselves? Instead of telling her to pull her stuff off the shelves, what is she going to do with this stuff? This is mass production. This is not a little bit of stuff. So she got to pull it from the shelves and put it in the warehouse and pay for that. And let's not talk about the fact that she has a contract with these people. So it's like, why don't we start working within our community? Why don't we stop? If we don't benefit the most from it, then we shouldn't be sacrificing the most. We benefit the less, okay, fine. Well, we finna go in there and we just finna buy all of Tabitha's and Crayon Cake and whoever, we finna just buy their stuff. All Black people stuff. That's it. That's all we getting out of there. If we only get the minimum benefit from this, we ain't going all out. And we also have to recognize that every skin folk ain't kinfolk. So they're going to use our very own to play on our emotions and pander to us and play us. So that's why it's important at this time to not be so emotional, but give a balance of emotion and logic. Allow the logic to help balance you out, because they are needing and relying on us to be emotional, to be unreasonable, irrational, illogical. They're counting on that so that we can mess up, so we can make the wrong turn, so we can be redirected. And I want y'all to think about these brands, like these people, like, aren't we pushing for Black people to have their own? So we got to start pushing and having our own. Instead of always needing these people to give us room and give us space, needing these people to give us equality, needing these people to have a seat at the table with us, needing these people to accept us. I feel like we need to start accepting the fact that that may never happen. And I say may. I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying we need to look at things that, if this never happens, what are we going to do? Because it's insanity to keep doing the same things and expecting a different result. That's insane. So at some point, we have to start looking at things from a different perspective to say, what if they never accept us? What are we going to do? When they had Black Wall Street, that's probably the mentality that pushed them to create Black Wall Street. They ain't gonna never accept us. They're never going to see us as equal. They're always going to look at us as inferior, and they're superior. So we have to create our own. And yes, people love to talk about how they burnt it all down to the ground, and they did, and it was tragic. But the people who stayed there also rebuilt it back up. And it also thrived with them rebuilding. It's not like they rebuilt it back up and it just fell all apart. No, it thrived for a while until desegregation came. And when desegregation came, of course, it then allowed the Black people to say, okay, well, I don't have to be limited into my community. I can go here, 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 which to me, and people can disagree, falls in the line of wanting to be adjacent or accepting with them. And I think that's a real reality some of us have to face. Some of us just want to sit at the table with them. Some of us want to be accepted by them. Some of us want to be in the rooms with them. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But you have to understand, by you wanting those things, understand that they may never accept you. So be okay with that. Be okay that they may never accept you. Be okay that you may be fighting for positioning forever. Be okay that once you do get that seat at the table, they still don't see you as equivalent to them. Or they still won't acknowledge your excellence to say that you may excel over them. They may never do that. So accept it, own it, accept it, and just live if that's where you want to live. But for those of us who don't need that validation from them, who are willing to find the excellence within ourselves, we can have plenty of Black Wall Streets again if we wanted to. It's a reason why they don't tell the story of how Black Wall Street was able to rebuild again. That's a reason. It's a reason why they don't talk about different situations where Black people had their own land, even during slavery. There were free Black people around who had their own land, who was building and doing things on their own. It's a reason why they don't talk about that. It wasn't just Black Wall Street. There were other communities that built and created a Black community where it thrived. And they don't want us to know that because we're powerful, smart people. If our ancestors did it, we can do it. And probably do it in a more modern, advanced way because we have certain things that our ancestors didn't have back then. Don't just be so easily to disregard our people. Black women, don't be so easily to disregard our Black women, especially when they haven't shown us anything in their character to say that their intentions are malicious. I've never seen that with Tabitha. I've never seen her intentions be malicious. So I want us to think about that. I think when we start looking at each other as an extension of each other, that's another Black sis over there, maybe we could start being more open and less judgmental to the way we navigate and maneuver. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts below. If y'all disagree with me, tell me why. We can have an open conversation below having this discussion. Tell me why you disagree. If you understand and agree, let us know. Yeah. And if you got to this point, go ahead, like this video, subscribe, and click that notification bell because you got to this point. Why not, right? All right. And make sure you check me out and check my content, check my candles, incense, and all those good things at bellaminded.com. All right, you guys, I love you. Peace and blessings. Until next time.